Most people organize their lives around common goals: a career, a home, or a family. But a small number of individuals choose a different path, separating themselves from the crowd to pursue a world record for something highly specific. This is a world where people spend decades on achievements that sound like fiction. It involves collections of thousands of finger puppets, hair that measures the length of a room, and dogs trained to jump rope in synchronized groups. It raises a question about the psychology of these outliers. Why does an ordinary person decide to commit a significant portion of their life to a goal that most would find entirely unnecessary? These records suggest that even the strangest achievements are built on a framework of focus and persistence. When you look past the initial absurdity, you find a level of dedication that is rarely applied to such niche subjects. This diagram shows the mechanics of the first pillar, obsessive accumulation. It starts with a single object that, through years of searching, becomes hundreds or thousands of items filling a single space. André Ludwig provides a clear example. What began with one souvenir eventually grew into a collection of 505 unique nail clippers, an achievement built by repeating a simple action. Sherilyn Lambeth followed a similar path, but with a different subject. She hunted down and organized 3,451 individual finger puppets, creating an assembly of tiny characters that filled her entire living environment. Martin Tovey took this to its logical conclusion by collecting the records themselves. He acquired 816 annual editions of the Guinness World Records books, turning his home into a physical archive of human achievement. This methodology is about the accumulation of time. By consistently searching for items that others might ignore, these collectors transform a mundane hobby into a record of persistence. This timeline illustrates biological patience. In this category, the record isn't an object you find. It is something your body produces over 4 decades of continuous growth. Joseph Grisomore grew a mohawk that reached 108.2 centimeters. At over 3 feet tall, the hair creates immediate physical restrictions, such as the inability to enter a standard car or move through doorways without careful planning. As seen in this photograph, Ram Singh Chauhan spent over 30 years growing a mustache that reached 14 feet in length. Maintaining hair on this scale requires a daily routine of cleaning and oiling that takes hours to complete. Shi Quping achieved a similar feat, growing her hair to over 18 feet. The daily burden of this record is significant, requiring the hair to be carried in a specific way to prevent injury or damage during basic movement. Biological records are essentially a test of time. They require individuals to live with constant physical inconvenience for most of their lives to see how far a single physical trait can be pushed. The final pillar, coordinated spectacle, moves away from individual patience and into the realm of logistics and engineering. These records are defined by the complexity of the event itself. A Canadian research project demonstrated this by coordinating 24,999 participants for a single study. They didn't just collect toenails, they managed the logistics of thousands of separate interactions to create a dataset that hadn't existed before. This image shows the mechanics required for a Japanese circus group to coordinate 13 dogs. For all 13 to jump a single rope at once, the timing must be exact, requiring months of repetitive training for both the handler and the animals. This 32-meter rubber duck, seen here in a harbor, is a feat of industrial engineering. Floating an object the size of a 6-story building requires a specialized team to manage the inflation, weight, and environmental conditions of the water. Unlike the personal records of collectors or hair growers, the spectacle is public. It uses size and logistics to make the viewer pause and acknowledge an achievement that serves no practical purpose other than to exist. Whether it's a collection of puppets, decades of hair growth, or a massive inflatable duck, these records share a common foundation. They are different ways of expressing the same drive to reach the end of a category. These feats suggest that people have a capacity for focus that can be applied to almost anything. It shows when a person refuses to stop where others would lose interest, they eventually reach a territory that looks completely impossible. Of these 3 approaches, the hunter's collection, the long-term biological growth, or the massive logistical event, Which one do you think requires the most discipline to complete? The pursuit of these records shows a specific human interest in exploring the edges of what is possible in any given field. Share your thoughts below and subscribe for more looks into the extremes of human focus.